So let me give you a quick recap of what we have done yesterday. What we have done, we have started a new module, Power Query. Into that, we have I have walked you through the Power Query introduction. Power Query is an ETL software. We know it very well. So ETL extract, transform, load. We used to do. We are having some five. We are having, like I have give you a walkthrough of a Power Query editor user interface as well. We have seen the queries pane. We have seen the data pane or results pane in the between, the ribbon pane at the top, query settings pane at the right hand side, and how we deal with the applied steps. Some applied steps also I have seen you. I have like yesterday shown you. Into that, into applied steps, some of the default steps are there. So these default steps would be changing as per the data source, that also we have discussed yesterday. Then we have seen a formula bar at the top. Formula bar we have seen the advanced editor. And finally, like what we have seen yesterday, data processing, how the data will be processed in Power Query, how ETL activities will happen in the Power Query. We have seen this yesterday, like how the 1,000 rows are initially used for the transformation, and while we close and apply, the transformation for the other rows, remaining rows will occur, and actual ETL activities will take place when we click on close and apply. So these are the things we have seen yesterday. I have also initiated a topic called as data types yesterday. So we have seen the data types, like what is the use of data type and how much important the data types are with respect to creation of visuals. Like for example, like these are the tables. Yesterday we have taken like 3 tables. These are from Excel sheet. Let me go to the transform data. Let me go to this transform data. Like you remember, if you remember yesterday, what we have done is we have there is a step called a change type step here. There would be a change type step here. Okay, what we have done is we have deleted that, because we just want to see like what would be the data type if we don't change the data type, if we keep this data type as it is. For example, now if you see this orders table, okay, this orders table, we are having these columns: row ID, order date, ship date. Now I told you how to see the data type, how to check the data type for the individual column. If I have selected this row ID, I can see the data type here. I can see the data type here. This is a data type here. We can see the data type. If I am talking about this row ID, if I'm talking about this row ID, the data type for this is any. For order ID, it is also any. For ship date also, it is any. Why I am telling it? Because so whenever we click on the column, we'll get the data type information here in this. So ABC 123, if you see all the columns, if we see all the columns, it is ABC 123. Means initially what should be the data type for here is, for row ID, it should be a number. It should be a numeric. It should be a number data type here. It should be a text data type because it contains text. Some special characters are here. So how yesterday I have explained you how Power BI will be having, how Power Query is having that intelligence to sense whether the first row would be a header, or like it how it differentiates, like how it come to know that it is having this kind of data type is on the basis of the rows which it is having. So what we have done, we have just deleted that change type step here. Change type step is there. We have deleted that in order to see the importance. Now, if we go, now if in all the columns, like this is a order date, what data type it should have? It should have a date data type, but it is not there. It is not date data type. Now we'll see, if we just close and apply, if we load these tables directly into Power Pivot, what is going to happen? So in Power Pivot, let me just delete this. Let me just delete it. We just bought this table. We'll check the orders table in the table view. If we check this orders table in the table view, if you see all the columns, wherever the any was there, whenever the any data type was there, those are all converted into text data type. Text data type. If we directly close and apply, it will be converted into text data type. So in the text data type, now let's take an example. There is a requirement. My client is asking to create one card visual, sum of sales. So simply I'll take a card visual here. I'll take this sum of sales here. I'll take this sum of sales here. So now, because the data type for this sales is what? Text. What should be the data type for this sales is, it should be numeric. It should be a number. It should be a number data type or it should have been a decimal data type. But it is not data type. It is not a decimal data type. So am I able to show the total sales here? No, because it is not allowing me here. It is just considering as text, and these are the features, these are the options which are coming for text only. This first, last. So these are the things it is not giving me. This is not a proper value for the total sales. So what I'll do is, if I change the data type of this, then we'll see whether we are getting the proper results or not. So what I mean to say here is, when the data type of that column is text, you cannot perform aggregation called sum, because only number data type column, sum aggregation can be performed. So when the data type of the column is text, it is impossible to show the sum of cells. So first you need to carefully give the data type of the column. First, what is the step is, we need to carefully give the data type of the column. Now, and all these data types would be given in Power Query itself. All the data type change you need to do in Power Query itself. So let's go to this orders table here. Orders table. So based on the data in the column, we need to choose the data type. So whatever the data which is there in this, whatever the data it is there into this column, it decides what should be the data type of that. So we have seen yesterday. Let me tell you something here, like data types. Data types represents the type of data stored in the column. It actually represents the type of data stored in the column. I told you that data type is decided on the basis of the rows which it is having, like what format those rows are there. On that format, this data type would be decided. So data types represent the type of the data stored in the column. So if I take an example of number, for the number data type, only numeric information is allowed into that particular column. If for particular column, if I am giving a number data type, the row should have only numeric information. So number data type can support only numeric information. So likewise, if you see for the date, for the date column, for the date data type, only date information should be there in the column. Then only it would accept the date data type. And for the text data type, what is allowed is, the text would be allowed in the text data type. Numbers are also allowed in the text data type. You need to take this into consideration. So for the text data type, text is allowed, number is allowed, some special characters are also allowed. Special characters and combination of text is also allowed. Special character and combination of text is also allowed. Number is already allowed. Special characters differently is also allowed. So these are the things for number data type, date data type, text data type. These are the things which are allowed for those particular columns. Now, if I go to this Power Query. Now, if I here ship mode is there. Ship mode. What it is? This is like second class, standard class. What the data type should be for this is, it should be text, right? It should be text. So if I convert this into number, now how we used to convert the data type is, here at the corner, if we click any column, if we click on this corner is, if I want to, there are number of data types available here. Now, if I want to convert it into a whole number, it will throw me an error. See, change data type, it will throw me error. Why? Because it is this Power BI intelligence, it will sense this intelligence that the rows are having the text values. Then why the data type is number data type? So if I take this as text, then it will be allowing me. If I take this as text, see, for the text, it has allowed me. Otherwise, it would have given me the error. So likewise, if I want to change this row ID, if I want to change this row ID, for order ID, I told you that for the text, it will allow the special characters, a combination of a text and a special character, and a number is also allowed. So this can be a text. This can be a text data type. So order ID should be text data type. Let me just convert it. How we convert is simply clicking on this. ABC means text data type. For order date, what should be the data type here is, because we can easily see here that these are the dates. So that the data type should be a date data type for it. So how can we change it? Simply clicking on here. we are having two options for date and time and date. So whenever time is available in that, we can select the date and time. But now only date is available. Let me check it as date. It has accepted. This is a date data type column. Now, if I click on that, the data type is also showing me. The data type is also showing me here. Date data type. Date data type. So likely we have to change this for sales. Let's see for sales. For sales, where we have got sales. We have got sales here. Currently, what is that? What is the data type for this is? Data type is any. Data type is any. So for the sales, it should be a decimal number. It should be a decimal number. We have got a fixed decimal number. What is the difference between fixed decimal number and decimal number is in the fixed decimal number, the decimal number should be fixed. The digits after the point should be fixed, but we don't have any fixed digits here. So simply we'll go on with the decimal number. It has been converted to the decimal number. Now let's see if I close and apply this. If I close and apply this, if I remove this, if I remove this, now if we see the total sales, now if we go here, let me just test the data type of this. What is the data type? Decimal number. If I click on sales, what is the decimal number? Is the data type. Now if I go and take the same card visual here, if I drag it, what is the value? 2.30 million. This is the accurate value which we can get. Why this has happened? Because we have changed the data type. So data types are very much important with respect to creation of visuals, accurate creation of visuals and reports. So we need to always take care of all these things. Where we can change the data type is in the Power Query. In the Power Query, we can able to do it. See, mostly Power Query, what it will do is, mostly Power Query will change the data type of the column. So there are some exceptional cases where it can't be, it can't change it. Power Query will miss to change the data type. That time developer need to change it. For ship date, if we go for ship date, so ship date also it should be date, right? So simply we can go here, we can change it to date. Now there are two types. We can change the data type of any column. There are two types we can change the data type of any column. What is it? What is the two type is? First type is I'll simply click on this corner. I'll simply click on this corner and we'll get a list of the data types. Then we can change it from here. This is the first type. Another thing is if I want to change this, if I want to change the data type of this column, I'll select this, I'll go to home tab, I'll go to this data type any, and from here I can change it. I can change it from here. This is also another type. So two ways we can change it, the data type, directly from here at this corner or directly from selecting this column and going to home tab and clicking on this data type here and changing the data type from here. So likely we can be able to change the data type from here, and it is recommended to change the data type in the Power Query itself. Now what is the easiest way? I'll tell you here is easiest way to change the data type of all the columns. If I want to change once in a while, once in one go. So the easiest way to change the data type of all the column is I'll just remove this change type step here. I'll just remove this change type step first. I have just removed the change type step from here. For every column, what is the data type now is? It is any. It is any. So I'll just select any column here. Just select and press and Control A I'll do. I'll just select any column. I'll do Control A. I have pressed Control A now. So we'll go to the Transform tab. We'll go to this Transform tab and there is some option called as Detect Data Type. Detect Data Type. There is this option called as Detect Data Type. So if I click on this, whatever the data type should be mandatory for that particular column, it will change and a new step is added to that. Let me tell you one thing. Let me do it one more time. If I need to delete this first step, let me go here. What we have done is we have just selected. If we want to change the data type of all the columns once in a go, like in one go, so what I can do it, I can press Control A. I can go to this Transform tab. We have the option something like that, Detect Data Type. Here, I'll click on this. So if you see now, so all the options here, For every column, it has automatically given the data type as per the intelligence. As per the intelligence, it has given the data type for each and for all the columns. So this was regarding the data type. We have seen how much important the data types are. We have got these three types of data types: number data type, date data type, and text data type. Okay, so this was the data type. Now, now the other portion, the other topic for today's session is filters. Filters in Power BI. Sorry, filters in Power Query. Filters in Power Query. So there are a lot of times clients, there are a lot of times clients will provide data to you and it will have a complete data. Let's say a ABC company is there. Let's say a ABC company is there. We have got a ABC company. We have got a ABC company like this. We have got a ABC company. So what this ABC company is doing is, this ABC company is doing a business from 20 years. So from 20 years, it is just doing a business. From 20 years, they are doing the business, this ABC company. So they will get some business data. So in the SQL server, they are storing this data. Where they are storing this data is in the SQL server. In the SQL server, they are just storing this data. In the SQL server, they are storing the data. So as a Power BI developer, they provided me 20 years of data in the sources. They provided this 20 years of data in the sources. And they're asking to create reports. They're asking to create reports only for the 5 years data. For only for 5 years data, they're expecting the reports. How many years data we have got? We have got 20 years data. Where it is stored? It is stored in the SQL server. It is there for ABC company. So they are just asking a Power BI developer to create the reports only on last 5 years data. So in this situation, there are two ways, there are two approaches how we can create the reports. So the first approach would be, we can bring the tables into Power Query. We can bring the tables into Power Query. We can bring the tables into Power Query. So we bring the tables to the Power Query and load those tables. So we'll bring the tables into Power Query. We'll load the 20 years data into Power Pivot, and we have to filter we have a filter concept in the Power View. We are having a filter concept in the Power View. We can apply and show only 5 years data in the visuals. This is one approach. Again, I'm repeating. We'll bring the data for 20 years data. We'll bring it into Power Query. We'll load the tables of 20 years data into Power Pivot, and we'll create the visuals in the Power View, and we'll apply the filters. There is a filters concept in the Power View. We'll apply those 5 years filter. We'll apply and we'll get the visuals done here. This is one of the approach. The other approach is, we'll bring the 20 years data to the Power Query, apply the filters in the Power Query itself, load only the 5 years data into this Power Pivot, show that 5 years data in the report, and share the report with the clients. So these are the two approaches. So which is the best approach? Which is the best approach is, I would say the second approach would be the best approach, where I will be bringing the 20 years data into Power Query. I'll be filtering the 5 years data here itself. I'll be only loading the 5 years data into Power Pivot, and then I'll be going on creating the visuals here. Second option is, like, why it is the best option is, there are two advantages of that. You can save a lot of space in the Power Pivot. Lot of space would be there. As compared to 20 years data, 5 years data would take less space, and the report performance would be good. Report performance will increase. Now, I'll tell you, if you take the first approach, directly bringing all the tables 20 years data into Power Pivot, when the client will open that report, they will take around 30 seconds of time to open. Let's imagine that they are taking 30 seconds of time to open that report. But in the second approach, if we go, if we load all the tables into Power Query, if we filter here itself and bring only 5 years data here, so here the client will be opening the reports within only 5 seconds. So where is 30 seconds, where is 5 seconds? You can only understand how performance would be good. You can imagine the things. Likely the other things is, other example would be if the data source is having 4 regions data. If in the report we want only one region data, It is always recommended to filter the data in the Power Query itself. The best way is to bring the data into Power Query, filter the data in the Power Query, and load the filtered data into Power Pivot. That's what the recommended method for doing all these things. Filters. When the data sources contains complete data, and if we want to load the subset of the data into Power Pivot, we will use the filters in Power Query. This is what the definition of this. This is self-explanatory, pretty much easy. Now, so lot of times, lot of unwanted data will be provided in the source. Lot of unwanted data would be provided into source system. It is not recommended to load into Power Pivot. All the unwanted data need to be filtered at the Power Query level itself. Now I'll tell you something. We'll take one example here. Let's go to Power Query here. We are here actually in the orders table. Now there is a requirement. There is a requirement that in the orders table, we are having four regions data, right? We are having four regions data in the orders table. If we see, we have got here region. We have got here region column. We have got here region column. So if I click on this expand button, generally what is the thing is, I just want to load only one region data. So let's see this region column. If I click on this expand button here, we can see the region columns here. How many regions we have got is central region we have got, east region we have got south region, we have got west region. Now you can see list may be incomplete, load more. You can see here list may be incomplete, load more. For the orders table I am talking about. So warning message is there, list is incomplete, load more. Now on the other hand, if I go to employee table, and if I go to employee table and if I click on this job and if I click on here, I'm not getting that error message here. Why I am not getting that error message here? Why only I am getting that error message in the orders table, guys? What is the reason behind that is, I'll tell you the reason. We have got a region column here, right? We have column, again I'll tell you, we have got a error message here. So what is happening is, if you carefully observe here, we have got how many rows in the orders table? If you carefully observe, let's go to the data view. Oh, data view would not be open right now. So if you, when you initially bring rows to the Power Query, how many rows it will bring, guys? It will bring only 1,000 rows. Only 1,000 rows it will bring. So in the actual orders table, in this orders table, how many rows you are having? You are having how many rows here? 999 rows are there. If you see to this sample superstore, if I open this sample superstore, if I go to this orders table, how many rows we are having here? We have got 999 rows here, guys. We have got 999 rows here in the orders table. So in the Power Query, if you see, we have got 999 rows here into this orders table. But if you see the employees table, we have got only 15 rows. So what I was talking, I have already explained to you that only for 1,000 rows it will show the four regions. So in the orders table, it will only show regions for only those 1,000 rows. So that's why that error message was here. Here only 15 rows are there. That's why, and it is under this 1,000 rows. So that's why it is not showing the data. I told you that only 1,000 rows it will display initially. So that's the reason why we are getting that error message here into that. So we have seen here there was a requirement that for the region table, how many regions data we should show is only one central region I want to show. There is a requirement that there are four regions data in this table, in this orders table. How many regions data it is having is four regions data it is showing. So I just want to filter. Let me just click on this load more. Now it is showing me for all the rows. Now if I want to if I want to show only the central regions data, only the central region data, if I want the only data which will be related to central region in the power pivot, that is a requirement here. So what I'll do is, here I'll select the central region data only and I'll click on OK. I'll click on OK. So only central region data is there here. Now I'll click here. We'll go close and apply. So in the power pivot only, in the power pivot only, how many rows it has come is 2323 rows. 2323 rows it has come because we have filtered the data earlier. If I didn't filter it in the power query, now see in the region only one region data it is showing. So the load is coming, the less number of rows is coming, the performance would be good here in the power pivot. Earlier it should be 9994, otherwise it would be 9994 if I didn't filter it into power query. So we can easily show that region data here. So let me just go here in the transform data. Let me just remove this step. We don't want this. For the time being, I have just shown you. Now in the power query, if we see in the power query, we have got this region filter, right? We have got this region column here, region column. So if you see it properly here, region column, if I expand this region column, we have got some options here. So what I'll tell is, I'll just simplify you in a very proper way. Now I have expanded this region column. Now if you see this, sorry guys, if you see this, if you see this particular structure, the search and the below options, we called it as basic filtering, guys. We call it as basic filtering. This is a basic filtering, guys. The search and the below columns, it is called as basic filtering. This option, the search and below columns, below options, we'll call it as basic filtering. So we have two ways of filtering in the power query. So we have got two ways we can filter the data. One is basic filtering and another one is advanced filtering. So if I go here in this power query, if I again click on this expand button, what is the expand? See, this would be the advanced filtering. This option text filtering is the advanced filtering. We call it as advanced filtering. What we call, so this section we called it as basic filtering. This section we called it as advanced filtering. So this is what the difference here. So sometimes, so we'll see this basic filtering. When we have less distinct values, we know it. We have been through this basic filtering and advanced filtering, so no need to explain that much. When we have less distinct values, we will choose basic filtering. So for the region column, we are having less distinct values, so we can go on with the basic filtering. But sometimes it is difficult to go on with it is not possible for us to go on with the basic filtering. So at that time, we'll use the advanced filtering. So let me just explain to you with an example here. So sometimes when you can't achieve the requirement with the basic filtering, you need to use the advanced filtering. So if I want to load the central data, I'll use the basic filtering because we have got only less values, less distinct values are here. I can simply go here, I can simply click on this, I can apply the filter here. So no need to apply for advanced filtering here. But there are some times when basic filtering will not work. Guys. Sorry, guys. There are some times when basic filtering will not work. So let me give you an example. Now the basic filtering we have seen in the regions column because the less distinct values was there. Now I have an order date column here. Guys. Let's go to this order date column here. Order date column. Now we have got this order date column. If I click on this expand button, now what is the requirement is I have got an order date column and we have got a 2020 from 2014 to 2017 year sales we have got here. We have got these many dates from 2014 to 2017. If you hover here, if you see, we have got too many dates from 2014 to 2017. We have got the dates here. Around 4 years data we are having here. But what is the requirement is, if in the source 4 years data is there. If I want to only filter for the 2017 data, whether this option, whether I can go on with the basic filtering or not, because see, we have to show only 2017 data. So what we can do, if I click on here, if I see the basic filtering options, it is not feasible for me to check everything 2017 and go and click on that. So too many data would be there. So that would not be possible here. So whenever such kind of basic filtering would not work, at that time we would go on with the advanced filtering option, that is called as date filters. We can go on with the advanced filtering option here. So this is what the scenario was when the basic filtering was not working properly. Then we can go on with the advanced filtering options here. So when you have a less distinct value, then basic filtering will work properly. Now let's take an example here. We can also give an example of a customer name. If you see the customer name here, let me just go on to the customer name. We have got a customer name column, right? Now there is a requirement. Now there is a requirement that the customer name, we have to load only that data, only those customer names who are uh, whose name is starting with the letter S, whose name is starting with the letter S. So if I go to this, see, I want to load only those customers in the Power Pivot whose starting name would be S, whose name would be starting with the letter S. So this is a requirement here. So how I can fulfill the requirement? I can't go here. I can't see S things, and I can't go to the basic filtering and choose those columns. Instead of that, instead of going on with the basic filtering, I'll go on with the advanced filtering, guys. So this is got the advanced filtering for the text filters. Text filters. So in the text filters, if we go, we are having an option here. We are having an option here, begins with. Begins with is an option here. So simply I'll put here S, and we can see all the names have been changed. Sorry guys, something is wrong here. Yeah, I just want to show here is like S we have taken small. So small, I just want to tell you that this text filtering is case sensitive. It is case sensitive. If I take S here, it would work. It would work. It is text sensitive. I have taken the lowercase. Lowercase, that's why that filter was not applied. But if I see now, only S are there, because all the names are starting with the proper case. That uppercase S is in capital form. That's why it was not taking me that text filter. So this requirement, this is how we fulfilled it. Let me just delete this. We don't want this actually. So there is also an example. So this was an example for the text data type. This is a text data type. So text filters there are. These options are there for the only for the text filters. Now if I go on to the sales column, because sales is a number column. So sales is a numeric column. Number data type sales is having. If I go to the sales column, if I go here, if I check for the advanced filtering, we are having different advanced filtering options. We are having number filters here. Earlier it was text filters. So these are the difference here we have got. So let's see. So advanced filtering is there, basic filtering is there. So based on the data type of the column, we'll have different advanced filtering options, guys. Based on the data type of the column, we'll have different advanced filtering options here. Filtering the data or number, text, date, data type columns. So now what we are going to do is, we'll simply take each options will take. Now we'll take some options. We'll see some of the examples related to the number data type, related to the date data type, related to the text data type and date data type. We'll see some options here. We'll see some of the options. We'll see some of the examples. We'll see the filtering options for the number data type, text data type and date data type. So in employee table, so let's go to this table here. So in the employee table, if we go, in the employee table, I have all the departments. I have all the departments starting from 10, 20, 30. We have got the departments here. If you see here, we have got the department numbers, 10 department number, 20 department number, 30 department number. So these are the department numbers. We have got these many. We have got 50 here also. 10, 20, 30, 50. These are the departments. If I close and apply, how many how many departments it will load is all the department it will load. But the client want a report only on the 10 department data. Now the client only wants to see the data with respect to the department number 10. With respect to department number 10, if they want to see the data. So whatever you achieve with the basic filtering, we can able to do it. How we will be filtering this is, we'll go to this department number. We'll simply click on here. We will make use of this basic filtering here. I'll simply click on this 10 and I'll load it. Now we'll see only this kind of like only 10 department number we'll able to see the data here. Now what I mean to say here is whatever we can achieve with the basic filtering, the same thing we can achieve with the advanced filtering also. Now we'll see how. Now let me just delete this step. Again, we are back to that. Okay. Again, we are back to that. We have seen the basic filtering. Now we'll see how the advanced filtering also would be fulfilling the same thing. Now we'll go to this advanced filtering. We have got the advanced filtering option, that is number filter. This is advanced filtering option. We'll simply go to this equals. I'll write here 10. I'll write here 10. So if I write here 10, the same thing I would be able to do with the help of advanced filtering options here. So this is some kind of example where whatever we can do with the basic filtering, we can do the same thing with the advanced filtering also. So here, what it will do is, generally what is happening here, I'll just delete this step again. What is happening when we apply the filter for department number equal to 10, it will go to each and every row. It will check with that particular row. Okay, department number is 10 or not. Department number is 10 or not. If this is 10, okay, we'll load it. If this is 10, okay, we'll load this. If this is 10, okay, we'll load it. The condition is true, then we'll load this to the power pivot. If the condition is false, 20, 10 not matching, 20, 20 not matching. So for others, it will just filter out here. Only these 3 rows we will get here. So this is how the filter will work actually, row by row. So for the rows where the filter condition is true, that records will go to the power pivot. For the rows where the filter condition is false, it will filter in the power query. So based on the data type of the columns, we'll have the different advanced filtering options. Now let's say we have an example here. Let's say in the employee table we are in. Let's say the salary column here, salary column. Now salary column is not in the proper order. This salary column is not in the proper order. We can see that 2450 is here. After that we have got 5000, we have got 1300, we have got 800, we have got 2975, again 3000. It is not into proper order. So I am planning to sort this column into ascending order. How I can able to do it is ascending order, right from increasing to the in the increasing order or ascending order, I mean to say. So ascending order means, see, it is not mandatory for me to do this, but simply in order to have a easiness in working, I'll just doing it. We'll just select this salary option here. We'll go to home tab here. Home tab. We have got a sort option here. What it is? It is sort ascending. We'll sort this ascendingly. Now we can see 800. It is starting from 800 to 10,000. It is sorted by using this example here. Now what is the requirement for this is, now because I need to fulfill the requirement with respect to the salary column. That's why I have sorted it. It's better to sort it in order to have a clarity. So there is a requirement, salary with 3000 rows needs to be loaded in the power pivot. The salary with 3000 only should be loaded in the power pivot. That's what the requirement here is. That's what the requirement. So how we will be able to do it is, we'll go to this number filters. Now here I'll go to this number filter. We'll go to this number filter. See, we have got too many distinct values here. So basic filtering is not advisable here. So simply we'll go to this number filters. If I want the salary with 3000 only, so I'll simply click on equals here. We have got equals here. I'll write here value as 3000. So we'll get only those 2 columns which are there, which are having 3000 salary. So if I close and apply, only these rows would be loaded in the power pivot. Now I need to load the employees. Now there is another requirement. I'm just showing you how the filtering actually works. Now I need to load the employees in the power pivot where it is taking the salary other than 3000. Where it is taking the salary other than 3000. There is a requirement that only those rows should be there in the power pivot where it is taking the salary other than 3000. So what we can do is, we'll again go to here. we are having a number filter option here. What this time what we are going to select is, we'll select does not equal, does not equal. So I'll go to does not equal because we don't want the 3000 to be visible here. Rather than 3000, all the rows should be visible here. So we can get the results here. So only 3000s are not visible here. Rest of the other rows are visible here. So if I want to do the same thing, if there is a requirement and there is some slight change in the requirement is, if I want only those rows or only those employees who are having the salary less than 3000, less than 3000. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just simply delete this step here. In the number filter, I'll go. We have got an option here, less than, less than. We'll just check this less than. I'll just put here 3000. So less than 3000, all the salaries less than 3000 would be displayed and it would be loaded into Power Pivot. There is another option. Let me just delete this. There is another option. There is another requirement. This time the requirement is less than or equal to 3000 salary. Less than or equal to 3000 salary. So how many there are? Like less than or equal to 3000 is 3000, 1, 2, 3. We have got around 13. So what filter we are having here is less than or equal to. So we'll go to this number filters. We have got an option here, less than or equal to. I'll simply click on this. I'll write here 3000 and we can see the results here. Less than or equal to 3000. 3000 is also there because we have applied for the filter less than or equal to 3000. That's why 3000 would also come and less than that would also come here. So this was a requirement with respect to number. Let me just remove this step. We don't want this step. So salary is more than 3000. Salary more than 3000. Salary is more than, we just want to show the salary is more than 3000 this time. What we are going to do is, I'll simply go here, number filters. What is the option we have got is greater than, is greater than. This is greater than. So salary is more than 3000. Salary is more than 3000. Only 5000 and 1000 is there. So this is how we can apply the filters. Salary is greater than or equal to, salary is more than or equal to 3000. Again, salary is more than or equal to 3000. So greater than or equal to is option here. Greater than or equal to option 3000. So this time 3000 would also be there. 3000 is also there and more than that is there. Now sometimes, so this was just on the number data type. On the number data type, I have shown you some kind of filtering options. There are sometimes we need to write more than one conditions, guys. Sometimes we need to write more than one conditions also. Now in this table, in this employee table, let me just delete this. Let me just delete this. I have deleted that step also. We don't want that short step. So there are sometimes we need to write more than one condition also. I need to load the 10 department as well as I need to load the 10 department here and also the 20 department employees. So I need to load the employees having 10 department and also I need to load the employees having 28 department. So we have got how many rows? 10. For 10 we have got 3. For 20 we have got how many? 5. 5 we have got for 20. So what should be the end result is 8 rows should be there. 8 rows should be there. So there are sometimes we need to achieve this kind of requirement. We need to apply the multiple conditions here. We need to apply the multiple conditions here. We need to apply the multiple conditions. Before applying, let me just tell you something here. Let's try with that first, then I'll explain you how it is working actually. So this time we are having two conditions. We need the 10th employee also, 10 department and 20 department also we need to show. So what we can do is we'll go to the department number. We'll go to the department number. I'll go to the number filters here. I'll go to the number filters. I'll simply write one condition 10 because we want a 10 department. Now here the department, the column name is already been given department number. Now what is the other condition is I need to select 20 here. I need to select 20 also here. So 20 if I select here 20. If I again give it as equals. So this time two conditions are there, but there is a twist here. What is that? Is whether and or. Whether and or. So we have got two things here, and or. So which condition would be applicable here? Whether and would be applicable or would be applicable, that we need to decide, guys. Whenever two types of conditions would be there, we need to always decide and or. So for this, let me just explain you something here. Like whenever two types of conditions would be there, condition one and condition two, and whenever there is a confusion between or and, we have got some these two tables. I have already explained you this also. I think I have explained you in Power View. We have already been through this. So we have got two conditions, for example, condition one and condition two. Likely, like here, if we imagine like we have got 10, we have got 20 here, department number 10, department number 20. What would be the result? So whenever for the OR logical function, whenever it is true, whenever the first condition is true and the second condition is true, the result will be true. Whenever the first condition is true and second condition is false, then also it would be true. Same, if any one is false between two conditions, it would be true. And both of them are false, then it would be false. So we have got true, false here for the OR logical functions. So we need to decide whatever transformation we are doing, whether it is applicable to OR logical function or AND logical function. But on the other hand, if we see the AND logical function, we have got true. Whenever both the conditions would be true, the result would be true. Any one false condition would be there, then the result would be false. Earlier, what was the case here? Any false would be there, still it was true. That is OR logical function. In the end, it is different. Any one is false, then it would be false. Any one is false, then it would be false. Both of them are false, then it would be false. So what is the task is? We need to load 10 as well as 20 department employees into the Power Pivot. So what we'll be using between this, what we'll be using is we'll use the OR logical function here. We'll use the OR logical function here. Now OR logical function, if I use, no, see, if we use AND logical function, let's see what is going to happen. No table, like not a single record is available with me. Not a single record is available with me. So simply how I can go and change this is in the applied steps. In the applied steps, you have got a gear icon here. You have got a gear icon. If I click on this gear icon, you would get that thing again. This window would again be back. We'll be able to edit this particular applied step. Now we'll see with the OR condition. Now we'll see with the OR condition. Now in the OR condition, we are simply getting the rows 10 and 20. So it purely depends. Whenever such kind of two conditions would be there, you need to always have an idea of these two tables, OR logical function and AND logical functions. So this was the AND on OR logical functions here we have seen. So when this type of conditions would come, we have to write multiple conditions here. Now secondly, we have seen this. We have used the OR logical function here. Now I'll just delete this step. We don't want this. There is another requirement, guys. Salary. If the salary column is between 1000 and 3000, that is a requirement. Salary should be between 1000 and 3000. Salary should be between 1000 and 3000. That is a requirement. Now what? So this is a requirement. But roughly if I take, salary should be more than 1000 and salary should be 3000. Salary should be less than 3000. This kind of condition we would be able to apply it. So if we see here, we are having a salary column here. We'll simply go here to this filtering options. We are having number filter options. Here we'll select whenever such kind of conditions would be happening in the number filters, we'll simply take between here, because we have got a range here. So when we take between here, so salary column between, so we need to check between 1000 and 3000. We need to have a salary of those. So we'll just take this option here, is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to, because we have selected the between option here. So here I'll take 1000. Here I'll take 1000. Here we'll take 3000. So we want a salary in between this. Now this time what kind of logical function we'll take is, this time what logical function? We'll take AND logical function, because both the conditions we need to satisfy. So simply whenever you have to take the decision, you take this decision, you correlate this with these tables, you correlate this, and you will get the answer like which logical functions you need to select. This kind of answer it would be available whenever you imagine this kind of condition. So this time we are taking AND. Simply if I take OR, let's see what will happen. If I take OR, if I take OR, what is the range we are expecting here is between 1000 and 3000. Are we getting a results here properly? No, 800 is coming here. 800 should not be there. 950 should not be there, right? It is below 1000. So we are not getting a correct results. So we'll take AND. We'll take AND. So here now we have got a correct results here. 3000 is a range. So above 1000 and between 1000 and 3000 the salary should be there. So this is how it is able to show me the results for the salary column. So the important part, this is very important point. You should not be confused whenever you are dealing with such kind of two conditions. You should not be confused here. For this salary conditions here, like these two examples I have taken, one I have taken for OR logical function, one I have taken for AND logical function. You should always, like this condition one, you should always correlate with 10. This condition two, you should correlate with 20, and you should apply it row by row. Then only you will get the results whether that condition is true or false. Then on that basis, you can select AND or OR logical functions. So this was all about the number data type, filters on number data type. So we have to see some more filters on other data type. We have seen the filtering on number data type. Now we'll see the text data type and date data type. Text and date data type. So let me just give you some couple of examples here. Now let's take an example here. So in the orders table, if you go, there is a column called state. There is a column called state. Now, if you check on this state column, like how many states are there here is 49 states we are having. 49 states we are having here for this. So what is the requirement is, if I want to load only New York data, if I want to load, what am I going to do is, so now in this state column, if I want only New York column to be loaded, now we'll see New York. Where it is New York is, this is New York, guys. This is New York. So New York is there. If I want only the New York data to be loaded into PowerPoint, simply I'll go here. Now this time, can we use this basic filtering option here? Because there are number of distinct values. The number of distinct values would be more here. I can't use the basic filtering option. So this time what we have to do is we'll go with the advanced filtering option. In the advanced filtering option, we have got text filters here because the data type of the column is text. So text filters we are taking, we'll just simply write here equals. And I'll write New York. I have written New York, okay? Now if I click, nothing is coming, guys. Why this is happening is, if you would have seen here properly, what I have entered is, I have entered this New York. This New York is in lowercase. I already told you that text filters works, they are case sensitive. Text filters are case sensitive. So how am I able to edit this is, I can go to the settings, I can edit this. Let me just make it capital N, then I'll try it, New York. Now if you see, it will come. It has got filtered. Now there is one more way to filter this proper step. Now I have deleted the step. Again we are there. Again all the rows are there. Here New York is also available here. If you see, New York is also available. Now if I want to, okay, if we have applied that step, let me just apply it one more time. So we are in the text filters. We'll go to equals. I'll write here New York. New York. So I have done the filtering operation. It is not coming. But if I want to edit this step, what is other ways? We can go to the settings icon. I can edit it from here. I can write it from here. But what is the other step is, if I go to this, there is in the formula bar we have got, we can edit from here also. I can go here. I can write N here. I can write Y here. I can edit from here. I'll simply press enter. Then it will happen. So from here also we will be able to edit. We will be able to rectify the mistakes, whatever we are happening. So This is also the option. We can able to change the applied steps from in the two ways. So this was the example for New York. Now, if there is a requirement, if I want to load 48 states data, now we have got how many states data? I'll just delete this step. I'll just delete this step. We don't want this step anymore. So we have got around 49 states data here. Now, if I want to load only 48 state data except New York, if I don't want to load the data for New York, what am I going to do is, when you have more distinct value in the basic filtering, we have got more distinct value here. We'll simply go to the text filter. There is an option called as does not equal to. I'll simply write here does not equal to New York. New York. So all the rows in which the New York is not there, those rows would be added. Means 48 states would be added. This was the requirement. Now, if I want to load, let me just take some of the examples with related to text filters. If I want to load only those customer name whose name starting with A, customer names, where we have got customer name, these are the customer names. If I want to load only those customer name whose name starting with A, what am I going to do is, we'll go to this customer name. There are many customers here. We can't able to go and select and choose any one out of it, or only A starting with A. We can't choose it manually. So instead of that, what we are going to do is, what we'll prefer is, we'll prefer advanced filter option here. So I'll go here. There is an option something like that, begins with. So I'll simply write here A. And we'll apply the filters. So now we can see only the customers starting name starting from A, it is loading it here. So I'll just remove this step. See, these many options you would be in the real time also. These many options of filters would be useful for you. This kind of scenarios would be coming, so that you would have to apply this kind of filters. So we'll just stop the session here itself.